I wanted to call your attention to something. And there's something actually in the background here that I invite you to check out. Right there, it says solo, and it has a line through it. And why am I sharing that with you? Well, I'll tell you. I'm recording this on November 5th. We're 2 days in the American election, where the trajectory is uncertain. And a lot of people, most people, not just in the United States of America, but all over, because what happens here is going to impact everyone everywhere. And it's similar to the experience of the pandemic, is that it impacts all of us. So why am I pointing out solo with a line through it? Because my tendency, my history is to keep things in to myself and not share it with others, to not ask for help, to overcommit, and to suffer in that alone. So my coach had suggested to me to have this sign by my desk, and I put it in Zoom because I see it all the time when I'm in my Zoom meetings, reminding me, in this moment, I can ask for help. I'm with people. So to have this reminder not to go solo. And how can this show up for us as leaders and coaches? Earlier today, I had a meeting at my organization, Desco, and we were talking about shipping rates and standardizing our shipping and handling rates across all of our regions. And this is day 2, like I said, in a place and a time when things are very unsettled, and I have not slept well. And I have not slept well because I have felt worry and fear, and also curiosity, keeping track of what's happening in every moment, just about. It feels that way anyway. And I'm tired. How can we be in our spaces to show up in our responsibility to our kids, to our classrooms, to our teams, to our loved ones, when we are experiencing unease or unsettlement? We can still be responsible. We can always take responsibility and show up. I took most of yesterday off. I cannot take every day off. I need to show up. I can't not be a mom for a day or 2 days or a week or 3 weeks. I need to show up. So one way that we can show up in our families, in our organizations, is to give voice to, acknowledge the unrest, the unsettlement. We can do this now during the elections. We can do it during the pandemic, but we can do it at any time, whenever we as human beings are experiencing something that we're a little bit off. So bringing that to the conversation. So my example, this morning, we had a meeting, the Desco team, a few people from my organization, about shipping rates. And we took a moment in the beginning to check in. And we often do this anyway. How are you today? What are you bringing? And today it was, how are you? Where are you at? And let's just spend some time here to just go off the planned agenda to check in and connect. And we each spoke to our exhaustion and also all of the things that we need to tend to, all of our responsibilities. And then after the 10 to 12 minutes of us checking in, there were 5 of us on the call, said, okay, now that we have given voice and we have been witnessed, we have been observed by others, that we're not, it's just not something we're internally struggling with by ourselves, that we actually brought it to this space together and it connected us and it built trust. Because if I'm suffering alone and I'm not sharing that, and I'm showing up as tense or distracted, other people are going to fill in the blanks, especially for leaders who are meeting with their teams and they're not sharing what's going on with them. When we don't show up in transparency, in really what is going on, our team knows it and they pick it up because our nervous systems are broadcasting. So we can give voice to, hey, just want to let you know that I'm a little bit distracted today because I'm in a conversation, something's unresolved. So if I show up tense, it's not because of you, it's because of this other thing that I need to reconcile and I need completion with. That's not quite complete. Whatever the words are where you feel that you're not giving too much, because as leaders, we cannot pour out our hearts and all of our insecurities and all of our fears. We do need to have some boundary, but we also are human. And we can also share that vulnerability in a way that shows up so people know where we're at and that we're building trust that way because we are being real. And so giving that space, it gave us the freedom to have our conversation about the shipping and handling rates. And we were done within an hour. We had an hour. We checked in. It created a space of connection. We didn't have to work so hard because we gave voice to what was showing up for each of us. And then we pivoted, had the conversation, wrapped up, had our next actions. And I felt like I wasn't alone in this because I'm not. But if we go solo, if that's our tendency, we're not giving other people the opportunity to be in a space together too and share that humanity. So we as leaders can do this, and we as coaches can invite the leaders that we coach to bring this into their families, into their organizations, to their teams. So no matter where you are in the political spectrum, no matter what emotions are swirling around inside, there's a way we can be with them, acknowledge them, give permission to experience them, and also show up and be responsible for our lives and our commitments. And sometimes we need to give ourselves a day off, of course. But this is a version of self-care that is with us in every moment, in every conversation. So I invite you to bring this to your communities, your teams, your families. Check in. What is showing up for you? What is your experience? And just give voice to that and see what happens. And I'd love to hear if your sense or your suspicion is this won't be welcome in your organization or in your community where you can really reveal your true experience of yourself. And why not? What is getting in the way? Because this is something I want to bring to all classrooms, all educational systems, all families, all organizations. So if you're seeing that there's a barrier here, what is that barrier so we can get from where we are here to where I see we can be? And there's going to be steps and bumps and obstacles along the way. So if you can help me with your eyes see what those obstacles are, so then I can just be aware of that and I can navigate that and find ways around, not around it, but ways to move through that from my commitment to bring care and committed actions aligned with the individual team members and also the team as a whole, I would be very grateful. I think this is important, and that it's our dignity that we're able to express what is so for us. And it's also allowing us to have the dignity revealed in others, giving them permission to be seen and heard and acknowledged. So please share with me, what's your sense about this? Is this something you see can happen in meetings? Are you open to different ways of bringing it to meetings? Because I'm happy to give you some things that have worked for me and other people as well. So please comment, let me know what is showing up for you. Thanks.